Hey, how's it going, everybody? We got a little impromptu stream today. Wow. Okay, I think we're starting to get closer and closer to getting on a routine. Isn't that something that's good? Everybody likes routines. Ideally, right now, it's every Friday we'll be doing a stream. Every every other Friday is earlier in the morning. Ideally, it could be like an entire day thing, and the other Friday, which would be now, would be about for like a streaming for about an hour, hour and a half or so. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're still working on Galaxies and Peril. I already did a whole bunch of work for this, but the coloring can take a little bit of time, and I figured sometimes shorter streams are just as good too. Before we go into the finishing the inks there, I just wanted to go back and show you guys some of the other ones we had done. This one actually I was a little sad about. I I finished it last night and I recorded it, but it stopped before we got into the actual thick inking and coloring and stuff, which sucks because this came out like I enjoyed doing this one, and I thought recording some of these I think would be fun for you guys. They're not just pinups. This feels a little bit more like a comic book panel for Galaxies and Peril. But let's just step through it here just so you guys can kind of get a vibe for it. So here's the thumbnail. Now, normally I don't send. To me, this is a tight thumbnail. It tells you everything you need to. But Kyle, the guy that I'm working for with this, him and I, we've got like a shorthand now. We've been doing work so much now that he knows and trusts me where it's going to go. But I wanted to do a little bit, just a little tighter, because some of these lines I was getting a little a little loosey goosey with. So like if we go all the way back, like this is where it would normally start, even smaller than this, right? And then we blow it up. Let me just turn this one on. There you go. And you can see like that's a pretty big jump from the two, right? And there it was built up a little bit in between these two, like the head especially. Proportions. It's mostly I'm looking for composition, right? Like where like there's a stretch going on in the body. The focus I want to be on his hammer there, and then just put in some rough work where the shadow would be, and then we go ahead and we do the tight line art. It's pretty much like night and day from what's already there. We slap those bad boy inks on there, and then the color, and then we slap the texture on that everybody seems to like. What I've been thinking too is what we might do going forward is the old traditional comic book stuff where there's no shadow. Sometimes you might have like a shade in there, but it would look something like this, and I don't mind it. It's quicker, but just adding like obviously the more you add to something, the better it can air quotes here look, right? Like just adding a shadow layer, it's it gives it some weight. So I'm not quite sure, but I want to show you that one with you guys. And what was another one? This one I wrapped up. This one I actually did on the iPad Pro. Trying to experiment a little bit more with that. There's some looseness in here that I still got to get used to, but it still works out the exact same. Here, let me show you guys here, right? So the thumbs, very similar to like what you guys had already seen, right? Like it's just scribbles. We build them up. And we drop on some costume elements, and then we put on our line art. Slap on the inks, get those colors, and then just put on that special effect layer with the paper texture and all that cool stuff. So everything's going good. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish up inking this one. And this guy here, he's kind of cool. I kind of dig this one. This guy, he's, it's almost like Venom. What we got here, Ryu Kirby lines. But it's like this little like parasitic thing, and it attaches on the base of your skull. So I'm trying to show kind of like one of those Hulk transformations, right, where it shows Hulk raging out, where he starts here, and then he's going to go into the symbiote sort of feel over top of him, and then crack on over to this version in the story's comic, like Venom sort of feel, which is like this knight kind of look. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to wrap this up here. We've got some Kirby effects here that we're going to do, like this energy that's going to wrap around him and stuff. And we'll slowly build that up here. One of the things I'm going to do as well is, since he's kind of got like this wrapping tentacle, the Venom stuff, I'm going to draw that after I've drawn his anatomy. Just find it a little bit easier to work that way. And I wanted them to have a shield here. Go like this here. And we'll try to figure out some details that we can slap on. something like that. I like these like Iron Man gauntlets I've seen Kirby draw. I don't even know if he really came up with it, but I know it's on the old Iron Man's costume where he's got like these discs. They look like they're on the side. They're a lot of fun to draw. I almost put it everywhere now. It's like Doctor Doom has them. It's like these weird joints. Like if you were, what would it kind of be like? Like your kneecap put on the sides. It's just interesting. And another thing that I'm trying to do too with this stuff, with the in the line art stage, is I don't want to get into the inking. But sometimes there's like design elements you get to put in here when you're working with black. You're gonna see I'm gonna do something here in his chest that works best while I'm doing the line art like this, as opposed to waiting until we get into the inks. And the reason I say that is because in my mind, right, like still working in that old workflow where you do the line art, then you put the inks and all that stuff, and you keep building over top. So adding spot blacks and stuff, it's weird because it's like this mix between inking and not. So we're gonna put like some sort of a black design here on his chest. So I got like his abs. This is my shorthand thing for abs and stuff that I got from looking at Corey Lewis. So like even here, maybe I can go like that and then just fill that in with black. Why is that? Thumb. Oh, there we go. That's the layer I want. Okay. What are we gonna do here? This can also make. It's what I was saying this in the video that didn't finish recording. One of the hard things I'm having with escaping this style is being able to draw like, you could say sloppy or not clean looking artwork, which is fine. But like I'm able to get design elements in here just by using black and white and it's like they're like sloppy shapes here that I'm not able to get when I draw normally. It's making it so it's very hard to break out of drawing like this. So what we could do here, right? Like we can bring in some more white lines, and do you see what I'm saying? How it like now it's creating this design in here, right? Like now it looks like it's part of the costume and stuff like that. We could bring a little bit up here. No, it's cool stuff like that. Hey Pedro, how's it going, brother? Okay, let's keep it going. So bring that in like that. Bring that down. All this kind of stuff. It's just cool. And even his lag, I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing in here. And I've been able to get away with quite a bit too with this stuff. Maybe you guys can tell. I don't know. But like I haven't been drawing certain things. I just leave them out. And when you look at it together on its own, it's, for me anyway, it just looks like it was supposed to be that way. Like right here where I'm not even drawing legs, I'm just drawing shapes. And they just seem to work. Here I think we'll leave some open space. We're going to draw the sword too. Okay, and all down here, like I said, I'm not going to put the rest of his body. We got like a lot of these Kirby dot effects that we're going to do. Let's get the sword going. Put like a blade on there or something. Okay, so erase this, and I just need to erase his body here. It's behind the sword. We might be streaming tomorrow too, guys. I don't know who's watching this after the fact, but might be streaming tomorrow. I'm not quite sure when. We've got another little 3-hour work day to get some more. I don't even know what the hell I'm working on. Actually, let me just quickly check. Just some people do ask, not many, but some people do ask about what things we're working on. So I'm finishing that. So we've got nothing for tomorrow. So I think what I might do is a friend of mine, friend of the stream, Donald DeLay. He has commissioned me to do some character design. So maybe we can pencil that in for tomorrow. That should be fun. Hey, buddy, how's it going, man? No problem, man. All right, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are getting a kick out of this new look design that we've been doing this year. It means a lot, man. Here, we'll just share this on Twitter. Boom. And then on Facebook. Cool. There we go. And just for those asking, what time is it for? Oh, yeah, we still got like quite a bit of time. Hour and a half. We're good. Just erase all that. Okay. So I'm just trying to look here at what we're drawing. Like there's a lot of negative space that we're gonna be working with here. So I just want to make sure that we've got everything that we need. So I just want to insinuate the shield. I have no idea. Again, these characters, and this plays honestly in part with Kyle Simmons, the wonderful gentleman that I'm working with on this project. Because we've worked so long together, we've got to trust. A brave man. But normally when I'm working with people, and you guys might get this way too, when you work with clients and stuff, like there's usually like a design pass, right? So whether you're being hired to design the characters, or they've already been drawn, and you're just kind of drawing them in your own style or whatever, right? These ones are getting designed on the fly, so that's why I'm there's a liberty that I'm allowed to do. Where like I'm allowed to just do some dumb stuff for his costume and all that. The layout's already been approved, and again, that's where the trust comes in, where he knows where this might go, and he's okay with that. So it allows me some freedom to just sort of like, again, do what I want to do. But this plays into what I'm talking about with this style, where it's like, it's so fun, man. Not because people are letting me do whatever I want to do, but I'm able to do some design language here that I just can't. I wouldn't be allowed. Not that I wouldn't be allowed, but I just wouldn't be able to do any other way, which is cool. Okay, so we'll go here. Now I think all the main heavy lifting is done. I don't know. We're gonna do something. I know I got to put some tentacles on him for the Venom-esque kind of stuff. So I'm gonna just bring these back up here, and this stuff's more like a feel. I don't want it to be fire. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna color this just yet either. Venom was in the notes like a concept and a direction to go with them, so I don't want to lose that. I want to make sure that we here, let me put this in red so I can see it. I want to make sure that when people look at this too, maybe they get like a slight Venom kind of feel, or like maybe it doesn't have to necessarily be Venom, but like a symbiote kind of thing, you know. I think what we'll do is we'll get some more motion here. Some of this is going to get covered up just by the way things are going to go. You guys will see it. You guys, I know I'm saying a lot of things that don't have a finish to them, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, I think that I don't want to go overkill here. Okay, let's erase some of his costume. we go. So I broke out a board game again last night. I know I talked to you guys about it before during some streams. Some people were, people are always curious about non-art related things too. Called the game's called Mage Knight, and man, I miss that game. I wish I could play it more than I do. There's just something about not necessarily just that game, but getting away from computer screens and just screens in general at the end of the night. I'm on them all the time, man. Anybody that's a digital artist or works someplace where they've got a lot of screens, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It can be. Some people don't care, man. Some people are just able to stay on this stuff forever. I wish I could get like that. Maybe I don't, but I work at a video game company, and all day we're on screens, or at least I am, and then when I'm done, I get to do this kind of stuff, which is always fun, but at the same time, right? Like it's nice to unplug from stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this off because I need to see what's going on. Right now it's getting very busy. So we're going to turn the thumbnail off, and I'm just going to fill these areas that I know are going to be in solid black, just so I can at least ground my vision here. What were we doing over here? Black. Is that black up there? Trick is going to be getting you're going to read left to right here, right, no matter what. So I'm hoping even with the sword it brings you back down, and if we can get some black to kind of go back up this way to bring it back to the eyes, I think we'll be okay. All right, I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to merge all those together and get rid of all the white. And we're going to do some inking here. I'm going to just make this red. So we're going to do some inks. Very, very subtle inks, but this will ground all the other black areas that we're going to need. Go there. I'm going to bring the lines here. So for his sword, let's do something cool. You could do that Kirby shine, but sometimes I like just having. I think it'd be neat to have some of the symbiote feel in the sword. Get some organic lines coming in. We'll see how this looks. I hope it looks good. This is one of those things where it's just like, all right, let's do the quick test. Because we'll be able to draw in white as well. Whoops. And that'll help. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Let's get that going in there. And then the last step is, I think, we could also draw in some white too. Just to give these guys some form. You know that certain lines and shapes are going over each other. Something like that. And before I forget, here, let's do this. I'm going to make a new layer. We're going to fill it in white. This is all this energy looking stuff. So what I do with that is, first I start with white. And this will make it so that I'm able to ink over top. It might look ridiculous now, but you guys will see it in a second. And Kirby. And I'm going to drop the opacity a little bit here. So, where did I see this effect? I've seen this a lot. I can't really put my finger on where. But it's sort of like actually, I think if you search Kirby dots or Jack Kirby Silver Surfer, maybe, I believe this is here. But or even maybe anything with the red skull if he's got the Tesseract cube. It's like this open white energy. It's not like the Kirby dots that you'd have, like if somebody's shooting, like let's say a bishop or whatever, shooting blast out of his fist. And you know, a lot of people that put the Kirby dot ring around there. It's not that. This is more of like an open, just pure energy effect. I love it, man. That's something I've been trying to do is at least looking at, you know, Kirby every day, but also trying to see the different styles of Kirby dots and rendering that he's able to do, because it just opens up more possibilities that hopefully I'm able to recreate or steal. So go there. And then what we'll do is I'm just going to erase some of these. I want this to be over top of that. It's one of the things that I've been trying more and more to do is with a lot of these effects is it's there to help layering, like overlapping shapes and stuff, and it just adds like some depth to the piece. Because if you guys notice the way this new style is that I'm drawing, I don't use line weights anymore, and that's been good and bad at the same time. Oh, 1 second, you guys. Okay, we're back. Now, hopefully now you guys will be able to see what the hell I was doing. Okay, so we're going to put that back up to full opacity, and then we're going to turn off those effects. So if I turn this off, I'll just turn this layer on and off. Once it's colored, you'll be able to see it a little bit more. I can totally understand how it still looks maybe a little bit like I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Let me pull up another piece I did where I was using that. Another piece, I hate saying piece. Another drawing I did with that style. Maybe I did it with the Fantastic Four. Let's see. No. Naturally, I don't have any, eh? Come on, not really? Not one. Oh, here we go. Okay, this dude. You see, like, this effect over here? It's a different kind of Kirby dot. That's what we're doing. And you're able to, like, bring that through in other places. What sells it is the coloring. Without it, it's very, you'll see it here. It's just open, and it's like, I don't know what the hell we're looking at. So, we'll see as we go. Trust me. Okay. So we can get all this going. we go. Okay, so now that I have that, I can keep working on the black areas that we're going to need. We're going to keep going with this Kirby lines. What time is it? Okay, so we've got an hour. What other solid black areas we got? Go here. And okay, I think we're good. I know I got these things still to do, but one at a time. All right, we'll go here. I think this is, sometimes it's a little tricky to do this, but it's one thing to work in tight pencils and then just ink over top, because then a lot of these decisions can get made then. But like right now, it's I can't because I've already got the line work there. What I'm talking about is like making lines that go like this, or weird shapes for rendering and just to move your eye around. So it's a little tricky, and the power of digital, right, lets you kind of go ahead and make those decisions later. You don't have to commit to them right away. So for his bicep, I think we're going to just go give him a nice little bicep like that. A little rendering down there. And I'm just going to go back and erase that. Get a little shine effect over there. Because I'm trying to think, there's probably going to be a highlight or something that I'll add. And do a little rendering here. Some lines for the bicep. That, and then we'll bring in some lines for these shines. Just wondering if we put some shadow in the tentacle stuff. Now I'm going to leave them open because I know I'm going to fill it with some color, and maybe we'll save some of the black areas for other stuff. Okay, so save that. I think it's, let me turn that back off so I can kind of see how it looks. A little hard to tell. All right, we'll do this guy. Here's something I want to play around a little bit with more too. Right now I'm just, it's like everything I'm doing, I'm trying to filter my head through Kirby. Even though, and I hate I keep bringing him up. I'm not trying to get on that bandwagon, but he's done so many awesome things, and it's allowed me to open up that I innately bring it up. But there's some stuff here that I like. His hair, I don't want to say he does it like that, but there's some things left to be desired for this hair. And I have my own way of doing it, but I haven't been able to mesh the two just yet. So I end up just since I haven't figured it out yet, I just default it to drawing it that way. That, what else? Some of Kirby's tech. I'm trying to bring in a little bit more, whenever I can. Right, like it depends what I'm drawing. Sometimes I don't need it. Like in this case, I mean, there's some tech I guess on this guy, but it's not. It's not like I'm drawing like an underground scientist layer, right? Okay, so for here, let's get a little Kirby rendering, I guess. Get that nice big. That's how it looks with. Okay, and then I want to get a little bit of shadow here from this thing, so it looks like it's on him. Okay, I think we're good. Awesome. Okay, so we'll save. Oh no, what the hell? Easy, John. Easy. We still got some dots to do. All right. Now we have to do some stuff down here. Something. Could be lines, I think. I kind of want to have all this open white space though. So maybe we can bring in like a little bit of a fire effect or something. Oh, there's so much going on here. I love it. All right, let's go here. Go here. I'm just putting another shadow underneath this arm just to ground it, on that shield. Okay, cool. Let's save it. And then let's get to the fun stuff, the coloring. Okay, I'll go here. I'm going to duplicate that. Those are the inks. Color. Cool. Okay. So I'll bring these down here, and let me just check my OBS stream here just to make sure you guys can see them. Okay, cool. Let's bring over here. How high can I go with this so it doesn't get cut off? Right there. I'll bring this up here. So this color set here that I'm using, shameless plug time. If you guys are interested in it, if you guys like doing the retro stuff, you can get the swatches. They're for free online. You can just do a Google search. Somebody had made them or posted them. I forget what it is. If it was like a comic book. Damn, I wish I could remember the site. I'll see if I can remember it so that you guys can always check it out every time I bring it up on the stream. But if you want, you can go on over to Patreon. I have a post where you can just download it for free. The swatches for Photoshop, or just to import them like this right into Clip Studio. And I'm only using those to restrict myself with color ranges, but then I do shade with a purple or a blue, and then I'll highlight either with a specific flat color like they used to do back in the day, or I'll use like this other highlight effect. And then that's pretty much it. So it speeds things along. The choice I have to make right now, though, is the colors that we're going to use. And that's more of like just, I'm trying to get better with color in general as well. So there's the color wheel up here, so you guys can see which colors I'm using, and then the actual swatches that I'll be using. The reason I use both of these at the same time is, like I say, I'm an amateur colorist. I've had some luck with stuff, but like I don't study color all the time. But let's say this guy was blue. What blue? I don't know, but let's say it was this blue. On the color wheel, I can look over here and go to oranges, right? So that means if I wanted the complementary color, let's say the background was all on fire, orange. So then when I have this here, I can go here and I can start to play around with, okay, some of these oranges, browns, and reds and yellows, those are the colors I'm going to want to pick. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind it. I actually have like a paper color wheel that I use. The only reason I like the paper one is I feel like the colors are a little bit different. I know it sounds weird, but like especially the purples and the oranges and the greens here in Clip Studio, it's like it just goes like green and then to like teal and blue. Where the color wheel I have, it goes like the yellow, green, and then there's like a blue, green, and then blue. It's almost like this whole section. I got extra ones. Not that you guys need to know about that, but that's why I have the paper one with me here. Okay, so this guy's like Venom, and again, I want to give the Venom vibes. So Venom is black, right? Dark blue, black. So I want to make sure he's the same kind of way. This color here, right? It's pretty much black. Let's go to color flats. Let's see how it looks. Let me duplicate this on my second monitor so I can get the right color. Go there. Okay. And all right, let's take a look here. Let's make this massive. It's probably gonna be too dark. Like it looks good, but I know there's gonna be shadow on there, so I don't want to go that dark. Does that one lighten it up? That's more saturated. I think I might go with that. It's like a nice medium ground to him. Okay, so this is going to let me at least have an idea what the hell we're looking at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to fill in all the areas that are him. Well, not all the areas that are him. I'm going to put him on his own layer, this guy on his own layer, and the skull on his own layer, and then the background on its own layer. I like to use clipping masks. If you don't know what clipping masks are, essentially it's just making a shape. Right, so what I'm going to do is just color in. Think of it like a coloring book. I'm going to color in this character here, and every layer I make over top where I want to introduce a new color, I just clip it to this layer, and I'll show you what the hell that looks like in a second, just so you have an idea. And the reason I like to do it this way is it just makes it faster for me when I'm doing shadows. I just do flat shadows, right? Like I don't do gradients usually, so it makes it a lot faster for me. So if I bring this over so you guys can see it. There's what we have so far. So when I make a new layer, let's say the next color I want is like this orange. So I'm coloring it, and you see how it's going outside the lines? In Clip Studio, there's this little button right here that says Clip to Layer Below. And now anytime I draw outside, it stays inside. This just lets me be sloppy, and it's fast. So that's why I do it. If you're in Photoshop, there's a way to do it. I don't know if there's a button, but I believe you can hold like left Alt, or just the Alt key, in between layers, and you'll see like this little arrow, and it'll like move the layer in a little bit, and it'll do the exact same thing. Okay, let's put that back. Let's get this guy going. I'm just debating if I want this open spot here, or if I want to fill that in for more of a better silhouette. Like if I leave it open like that, we're going to see like the background behind there, and it just makes a more interesting shape. So I'm not sure yet what we're gonna do. I'm also going to color through these effects as if they weren't there. because those effects are going to go over top, like the Kirby effects there. One way to do this, normally I just fill it with the paintbrush or the paint bucket tool. I'm not doing that right now because there's a lot of open white spots like this. So instead, I'm just trying to make the contour. And then I can fill in just the inside of these shapes. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments. I don't know really who's watching the stream right now. But do you guys play board games? Do you guys have you guys ever tried Mage Knight? When I was talking about board games, jeez, moons ago, especially solo board games, I'm just massive fan, and card games too. Marvel Champions card game that I talk about a lot with you guys. But yeah, Mage Knight's been one of those games where I was just like, man, where's this game been? This game tickles my brain in a great way, man. It could be a long game too. I bought from the dollar store. You can get like what are they? They're like foam core, you know, like just little thick pieces of foam, I guess. And I super glued two of them together so it's thicker. But it's almost like a little desk that I can leave the game set up on, and then when I'm done playing, I can just put it on top of a bookshelf. That way, you know, oops. That way, like I got a little guy running around. I can't have a designated space, and I don't have a large house at all. So I got to make the maximum space available to me that I have. And anyway, so I have it on there, and it's great because it reminds me of like chess, kind of. It's a really complicated, tactical, fun game that I can start. Let's say, like I started one on Monday, and it took me about I'd say, what was it? Yesterday was Thursday. I wrapped it up yesterday, but I didn't play every day. But it was just there so that I could come back and go, okay, I got 20 minutes tonight. I can just slap it down and play a turn, and then let my brain think about what I want to do next. Just like a little crunchy puzzle, you know, kind of like chess too. And then just put it aside, and I can get rid of it. And it's almost like pausing a real life game, like video game. It's pretty cool. Night Rock, welcome, buddy. Night Orc, should say. I have no friends to play with board games. Yeah, I hear you. A buddy I work with, him and I are very opposite when it comes to games, and I think he's more normal. In what I mean, like with board games being like a social thing, I don't disagree with that at all. But like, I don't know if I'm just too selfish or it's just like I can't make time when other people want to play, or I just don't want to wait around for other people. If I want to play something, I want to play it, right? Maybe that's where I'm saying the selfish part might come in. But yeah, so like being able to find social or not social, but solo games that I can play by myself has been like a godsend, man. You know, because like I say, now that I got a little guy, I might only have 20 minutes a night, 10 minutes, no minutes that night. I might have commission work to do. I might have this or that. And just being able to play a crunchy, like heavy game, like Mage Knight in this case, or a kind of casual game like the Marvel Champions card game where I could set it up and feel as if I was playing Magic against somebody. You know, it's a little different, but it's similar, and it gets that itch out of my system. It's great when I can play with other people for sure, but just experimenting with some of this stuff. And the biggest one that was a massive change, and like, you know, I bought quite a few books now. Is like tabletop RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons, but playing that solo, that blew my mind. It's getting to the point now where most of my gaming experience, I'd rather just play by myself. It's very weird. Okay, what the hell am I doing? I'm trying to fill this in. Just the current layer is all I want. What are you doing? So all over here. Okay, that's covered. Let me just turn this off so I can see, make sure it's a solid shape. Okay, we're going to go all layers. Refer to multiple. What is going on? Is it this stuff? Oh, right here. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we got this guy all in one color. I'm going to do the other ones in different colors. You'll see as we go. Like, they'll get fixed. Right now, all I'm worrying about is just filling in those shapes. But yeah, anyway, the solo games, like the solo stuff's like all I talk about now besides drawing. But yeah, it's been great, man. Like, I don't know if it's because most people, like, we don't travel as much anymore. Not that I really did, but like, if I got that itch to play like Magic the Gathering and stuff, there'd be like Friday night Magics and stuff at the card shops. But I haven't played Magic in such a long time. I love Magic. I think it's a great game. It's one of those things where it's just so cost heavy that I find it restricted to play. Because I love, like, one of my favorite things, it's not playing Magic just for the fun of it. I like playing Magic for the competitive side of it. And that's a beast, man. That requires a lot of investment, time, money, and all that stuff. Like, I think you get a lot out of it. I want that open. No, I'm going to fill that in. So it's been great. But, again, just being able to, like, the games that I'm playing now by myself, it's just been great. Like, if I'm in the mood to play a card game, bang, I can. I don't have to wait for anybody. The only thing that I miss, right, like, is like playing multiplayer games. Like, what's the Call of Duty one? Warzone. That was a lot of fun. Comes and goes. Comes and goes. Okay, so we got this guy's shape done, and then I really got to get moving here. Talking too much. Get that whole skull in there. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this tool and just go back over everything and fill it. Go. Cool. Okay, so let's turn everything on here so we can see it, all right? And like I said, what I want to do is the easiest thing, and this is a color thing, is blue, so you want to use the complementary color. So over here it's like an orangish red. Let me just see this here. Yeah, so we're going to go more orangish red, and I want your eye to move across. So I want it to be less saturated as we get over here, so he'll pop more. So I think he's going to be like that, like a desaturated yellow. And then the middle guy, as we get over here, is going to be a little bit more orange, and then we'll get to the red. So let's play with this yellow. Again, all just testing these colors. This is the longest part of the process for me. It's just figuring out the colors we want to use. All right, so let's just fill all of this with just knock it in there. Make a new layer. Like I said, I want to go this way, so that means I got to go in the orange. But not only do I want to go this way, I also want to go this way, or possibly this way, probably that way, the way these colors go. So that means first thing I'm looking for like an orange, right? So we're kind of there. I want a little bit more like that. That might be alright. This might be better, but I want to go a little darker. So that's too red. Maybe here. Let's just try it out. And the hard part is like trying to figure out where you can break up these colors, because you can't do, like, I'm trying not to do gradients, right? So it's like you got to find breaks in art. Like all of this, let's do it. Boom. Let's knock it out. All over there, we can bring that down. And then over here, we want to do like a red, right? So let's go back up to that red. We want like a, maybe down here, one of these reds, like that. And again, trying to figure out, sometimes you can't do it. You just got to like slap it in like that. Maybe we could bring it in. Kind of works. Maybe it works. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so we got there. Now we got to figure out this guy, all his main colors. So like I said, I want to keep him, I want you thinking of Venom when I'm drawing him. So we're going to use a lot of purples and blues, but he's got white as well. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of this kind of white color like that. Just sort of sprinkling in that color. I figure, like, I like to use 3 colors here, so I know I'm going to go light, his blue's medium, and then we're going to get like a darker color. So I want to make sure that
we're using these to our maximum effectiveness here. Go there like that. I think that white might break that up pretty well. Maybe we'll do like a light color for that shield too. Whoops. Maybe something like that. And I like to get into that third color as soon as I could here. So let's go here. Where was it? Was it this one? It's that one. Okay, so we want to go a little darker. How's that look? Oh, no, that's the blue. I grabbed the wrong one. Is it this one? How's that look? Yeah, that might work. Okay. So, I could like slap it in there to get a little... Yeah, that'll work. That way his eyes will pop more. I think this is also showing me that I can kind of get these tentacles to be a little different color too. There. Actually, I think if we put these guys white, that might be cool too. Okay, get some more of these dark colors in here. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I think, lastly, I'll put his gauntlets in like this dark color too, with his hands. Man, it's been a challenge, guys, like trying to learn how to draw or color like this. And I'm not saying that I've already learned it, because I haven't. There's a lot. Like, I'm looking at stuff on Pinterest. Pinterest has been amazing over the last few years of me learning new techniques and stuff, just the way how people post and stuff, and just the cool things you can find over there. And just seeing how the old school cats used to color, man, they were doing some amazing stuff. Like how you can only use a limited palette, right? And like really manipulate it to really sell some effects, as well as like how do you do kind of like what I'm doing now, and I'm fighting it, trust me, is like just throw a solid color down on everything. Like this is there's a lot, right? Like all of this is just a color. You look at Iron Man, just red, that kind of stuff. I don't know if this guy's a villain, but I'm gonna put his eyes, I'll just make them white just so they really stand out. Okay, so he's done, and I just want to make sure we get all the colors here. So we're going to make this guy. Let's get all the tentacle color down. That. It might make sense for this skull to have that same tentacle thing on there. In this skull, I want it to stay blue, but I don't want it to be the same armor. I think what I might do is, let's see how this looks. Right, like the default to me is like, okay, let's make it like a yellow skull, right? But sometimes you can do some really cool effects with just going a little different of a shade. Let's put those teeth white. Yeah, something like that. Right, done. Okay. All right, now let's get this guy going. Again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them still blue, even though his skin color would be a little different. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's see what he looks like when he's blue. Maybe. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's kind of tinted this way, it makes it feel like it was in the past. At least that's what I'm trying to hope for. I don't know if it's working, but just keep experimenting here. No, we gotta find a darker blue. Time is it? Okay, we've got a half hour. Gotta dig deep. It's so hard working with like a timer on yourself sometimes. You know, you got total freedom to work whenever you want. It's things don't get done, but sometimes you get some really awesome looking work. Um, Little self-imposed pressure. Let's see. I think it needs to be brightened up a little bit, meaning the background. I'll see when I get in there, right? Like at this point, all the color is pretty much done. I need to do some more effect work and stuff, which I will. But just to make sure we're kind of on the right page, I'm going to start doing some shadow work. So I'm going to make a layer above the guy on the far right because he's going to be fun to draw. I'm going to make it multiply, and then I have like this purple that I use just for the shadows for everything. And I'm just going to make it a classic lighting, you know, like from the top, just to make it a little easier on myself. A little hard to see on this monitor, the darkness. So this is what I mean. This is good to know because it might be too dark. Like I can't even fill it in. It thinks it's all the same. So we might have to lighten up this dark blue that we were using. We'll see. Another thing that I should remember is actually let me do that right now. Is when I add all these effects and stuff over top, they the piece does lighten up. So like here's a good example of like all the blues I was using to like try to put a scene together. So I'm going to copy all that. I'm going to paste it on top here. This one I've been reducing. But you see how now like if I turn all that off and turn it back on, it does lighten up. I'm going to leave that on there just while I do this. Make it a little easier to see. Might work out. Might work out. I think a nice highlight layer is going to help too. Let's put some of this in shadow. Like I said before, the flats, like I like them a lot too. It's just that when I add that shadow, it makes me go like, maybe I should keep them. You know, like it's just it's not taking me too long to incorporate the shadow. It just makes it pop, but part of me is like, I do like that retro look, man. I don't know why. Maybe just the phase I'm in. It's probably just the phase. Okay. And the last thing to do here is we're going to make a new layer and put this on add glow. I'm going to pick like this. I used to go over to like this green. Well, lately I've been using like this, it's like this poop brown kind of color. And we just go over to, oops, change it to add glow. And I try to do this sparingly or just where I want your eye to go. It's very easy to just start throwing highlights on everything. Alright, so I definitely want people to see this thing on the back of his neck. Whether or not people know what it is, that's okay. So lets me put a little bit of like that slime effect, or not even a slime, but just that tentacles here, a little more on the wet side. Now, the more I look at this too, the background, like again, I know I need to make some more effect work, but now that I've kind of seen the direction that I've ended up going with the colors, the background for me, I'm a saturation guy. The more saturation, the better. So we are going to saturate the living shit out of the background. I've been critiqued before about. I think my brother actually said it once, and it to me, I find it so funny. It's true, and I understand what he's saying, and he's right. There was something I was doing for work, and I just wanted to run it by him for his opinion. He's an artist as well, right? So it's always good to get. And he can be brutally honest, which is good. That's what you want. And he was saying the game looked like it was the colors were in all caps. They were just yelling at him. It was making him angry for how saturated it was. So I was gonna chuckle out of that because I found like the more I do my own stuff, that's I don't know if you call it a style, but like an aesthetic that I like. Every time I talk about saturation, that comment always pops in my head, and I love it. It doesn't necessarily prevent me from doing the high saturation. I'll still go that route, but it's funny. Let's bring that back about. Okay. So there we go. We got all this stuff done. Okay. Okay, we got the special effects to do. Okay, so this background stuff. So let's start. I'm going to just try going pure yellow here. Let's see how rich that starts to look. That looks a little bit better. This orange. That looks better. And even this red. How does this nasty, just punchy red? Yeah, I don't. Maybe even the purple I don't mind too. What if we brought in? I like the feel of that. There's something to that, man, right there. Woo-wee. Actually, you know what? You know what, guys? I might even just go like, what if we go like that? Maybe. Hmm. 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 I like that a lot. I like that a lot. A lot. All right. Well, let's see how it looks now. So now I'm gonna grab my yellow, and we're gonna put in these big fat energy shapes. Yeah, this is gonna. Goro Scopio? Is that you say it? I'll just call you Goro. That reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I was saying earlier, uh, I've gotten comments about colors being just fucking too saturated, but sometimes like they just hurting your eyes is good. You know, like I was looking at the Marvel Unlimited app. I've talked about that a bunch of times with you guys. I think it's a great app, especially if you're like me and you don't really care about buying monthly comics, you know, or you're more into the retro stuff or just getting older comics or blah blah blah. Lots of reasons to check it out. But while I was trying to check out a lot of these colors, like a lot of modern colorists, they're tremendous, man. You know, like getting value and range and all that cool stuff from it's unreal. It looks so good. And the more I looked at the old stuff, it was just kind of like there's something. I don't know if it's just that it's illustration. You know, like it's an old look. I don't know what it was, but it was just like I was just getting into it, man. Like it just made me feel like I was looking at comic book stuff, not like real artwork. I guess you could say. I don't know what the correct way of saying it is. You dig the ice cream stuff? Okay, perfect. You're my kind of people. But it was awesome. And then I was looking at like how they were redoing old comics with the new stuff, where it's like you're using the same kind of color flats I'm using, but it's not being desaturated by the yellow print paper it's being printed on. It's just vibrant right in your face. And I've seen some people just hate it. I totally understand why, especially if they're used to seeing how it originally looked. But as somebody that hasn't seen it on newsprint, oh man, I was just like, I love the way this stuff looks. Like when I read old like Kirby comics or especially Kirby stuff, I don't read that stuff and take it seriously. I look at it like it's fun, and that the color to me just accentuates it, just makes it feel more like this is entertainment. More so than like I don't like realistic comics for the most part. Like if a comic's talking about something that's happening today, that's one thing. But if it's like lots of grays and shadows and just stuff that's just I don't know. I want to look at something to be the fantastical part of it, you know. So anyway, so hopefully you guys can see. I'll zoom out in a second here. If you guys have been here for a while, when we were starting this effect, hopefully now you can sort of see where I was going with it. Where, like I say, when you color it, you can see it better. When it's just the inks, it's a little bit more difficult, right? So you can kind of get that energy. I don't know if yellow is the way to go with this. We're gonna have to make a couple creative decisions quickly here because we're running out of time. Blue. What if it's red? Let's try red. Just to build off a little bit more of the colors we're using. I don't know. It feels like it's a little bit more tied together. So if we got reds and purple, green might work really well. Let's try green. Green really feels evil. It feels a little bit more undead. I think I would just go with the yellow. Just right in your face. And then I think we'll get like this orange color. Just, oops. Just gonna fill in all this here. Put that under this guy. Oops. Bring in the red. What is causing that color? Oh, my bad. Let's bring in some of that red up here. That's for some fire action, I guess. Yeah, the yellow makes it stand out from the purple. Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, as long as I'm not alone on this. What I might do here is, you can kind of tell, I might just start flooding this background with red instead of the purple. I think it just separates it a little bit more. I kind of like that. And then let's make a new layer. Yeah, no, you're right, Night Rock. I'm going to try this pink just to check it out. Yuck. So bring it in here. I'm just going to put it in certain spots, like around them. This is the effect that I'm trying to get a little bit better at. It's like you're using color to like move your eye around like you always do, but like with this flat tone, it's kind of tough because you can go a little drastic with it. Like yeah, I don't know if I like that. It's getting too busy. I think we'll go there, and let's try a different. The purple's the same there. Just trying some different shades of red. Maybe something like that. that maybe. Yeah, I think I like it like that. Actually, I think this is. I think it's all right. The only thing I'm wondering about here, and I've got 10 minutes to make this decision. And sorry, dude. I know what you're saying, and then I just quickly went the other way. But sometimes it's like what feels good as we're making the decisions. I think I like that. Just having that energy all kind of coming from behind him like that. Almost looks like he's coming through fire. I don't know, but oh, what the hell was I gonna say? This blue that we've picked. Let's try. I just want to try some like a lighter shade. I like that. That pops. We start going a little bit brighter. This darker one I'm a little concerned with. Whoops. Fuck, I love that. You know, I love that, man. Like just that bright blue. 'Cause this is supposed to be okay. So let me go here and let's make this darker. I think this is it, guys. This has got that blue I like, man. Like it looks. I know like I say, he's a villain, right? So I always like using those darker colors, but sometimes, man, like I don't know. Maybe I'm just being driven by whatever's the lighter color. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if it's saturation, then that's what we gotta go with. Because I like saturation. What color are we using for that? So to make this white-ish, so it can pop over all the blue stuff. Yeah, that's better. I don't know if you know what I mean? Like I start shifting everything more and more to like saturation. That purple's not bad. I like the fire, but like this purple might. I think I'm gonna stick with the purple background. Man, does your eye ever move around on? Good or bad? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's turn off all this special effects stuff just so we can see how it looks flat. It still reads. Do you know what I mean? It's still good. I like it. Okay, well, that's going to wrap that up. Thanks, guys. So that should be it. I don't think I'm streaming tomorrow. I'm just sticking to Fridays for now. But you never know. If you guys are subscribed to the channel and stuff, if a random stream does pop up, you guys will know it's on, I guess. Actually, I'm just taking a look here. You know what I might be missing? Oh, everybody's popping in now that I'm saying bye. Hey Trey, how's it going? You love the purple? Good. Okay, so I'm not alone in that. Night Rock, I can't quite see on my phone to apply the highlights. Are you using an overlay effect on there? So in Clip Studio, it's getting cut off here, but instead of multiply screen, all that, I choose add glow. If you're using Photoshop, I believe it's just screen or overlay, one of the two. That's all it is. Okay, so before I wrap this up here, let me just get this dark color. I think this is what is just missing. What if we make the tentacles here that dark blue? That way this gives it a little bit more of that Venom feel. I hope. Let's go there. I think this is going to work already. I'm just seeing it. It looks... There's more contrast kind of going around. And it's like this weird back and forth. This is like the shit I'm talking about, guys. Where it's like modern coloring. And even the way I would color in general, this isn't much different. The only difference is like I would be more aware of like, okay, like what I'm doing right now, the tentacles, okay. Well, if I color them darker, it's going to pop over all the light aspects of the costume and blah, 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 right? Which it's doing. But if I'm trying to maintain like somewhat old school feel, don't even think about this. Just he's blue. Fill him blue and walk away. It's like this weird way I got to go back and forth and stuff. But anyway, I think this is it right here. I'm gonna zoom out in a second. You guys can see. Not quite sure about getting rid of the crown. That blue is really nice, but I could turn this layer off once we see it in a second. Okay, if we zoom out. So I'm saying like it still pops, but if we turn that off, like he pops more. But the reason I'm going this dark blue is because everything he was doing was dark blue. Maybe what we'll do is we'll turn this crown. We got a kid losing his mind in the background. There we go. Maybe something like that works. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to just leave it like that, or else I'll just nitpick. Okay, cool. Alright. And then let's turn on... I don't know if I have all my layers. I do. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. And I will see you in the next stream. Take care. Keep reading comics. Keep making comics. And I will talk to you then. Bye-bye.